Hello everybody, GoldenBoy here, and we're back with another video. And today I'm not actually going to be talking about theories. I was watching the anime recently, and I noticed how badass some of the Straw Hats are. It made me want to put out a video about each Straw Hat's most badass moment. So I think I have a nice treat here for you guys. I have, in my opinion, what I think each Straw Hat's most badass moment is. I think my Luffy moment will surprise everybody because it's actually pretty underrated. But we all know what Zoro's is going to be, so let's just start with him. So, for Zoro, obviously, I'm going to say Nothing Happened is his most badass moment. And this came off of Thriller Bark when Gecko Moria was facing the Straw Hats, and Luffy had his big nightmare Luffy form. That was fun. But the Straw Hats were facing certain death. The sun was rising. This was their last chance to get back their shadow. They heavily relied on their captain, and they believed in him. And he came through, and he used the last of his energy to take down this warlord. Finally, there was peace at the end. They took down the big bad. The end of the arc is here, right? Well, not quite. In came a second warlord. And at this point, the Straw Hats are in danger. With their champion down, Luffy's down, they had nowhere to run. This wasn't going to end well for them. Luffy was going to be getting captured, and that's it. But Zoro took charge, and he was a leader. And he put his own aspirations and goals of being the world's strongest swordsman on the line. And he put that on the side, and he chose to die for his captain. Granted, he didn't die, but he didn't know that he wasn't going to die. This was a very dangerous situation. Sanji also attempted to sacrifice himself too, but Zoro knocked Sanji out, and he took the ultimate ass whooping. And then at the end, he pretended that nothing happened, because he didn't want Luffy to feel indebted to him. And honestly, that's the most Chad moment I could even think of. That is the most badass moment probably in all of anime for me. But that was a hot first badass moment. So let's pick a new Straw Hat. How about Franky? So for Franky's badass moment, I wanted to talk about his Senior Pink fight in Dressrosa. And for me, I actually think this was one of, if not the best fight in the story. And I'm not even a huge Franky guy either, to be honest. Franky's the Straw Hat I forget about most often. It's always either him or Jimbei. To be honest, I actually don't care that much about Franky. But this moment was just perfect. And I legit cry when I watch this fight. It's just so honorable. I don't know. And coming off of a sad Senior Pink backstory, this moment was perfect. Franky and Senior Pink, they didn't have any malice towards each other. In any other circumstance, they would have been friends. And they respected each other the entire way through the fights. And at the end, they decided to each let the other hit one ultimate attack without defense. It was the battle of hard-boiledness, being macho. And Franky ended up winning in the end. And he wiped tears from the eyes of Senior Pink. And he said that, when this is all over, someday he'd want to get a drink with them to discuss that woman named Russian. And he did. In the cover art of chapter 1021, it's shown that they were getting their drink together. And they were drinking White Russians, I believe. So that's even more iconic. But I thought this was such a hard-boiled moment. I'd love to see it for Franky, and that was pretty badass for him. So up next, let's do Chopper. Actually, so for Chopper, this was the hardest one to find for me. Chopper is not, just immediately the most badass Straw Hat, come to think of it. I guess the monster point at Eni's lobby was really, really good. But eventually it came to me when I was thinking about Chopper. I really like in Wano when he finally stood up to Queen. Because how many times have we seen somebody in One Piece call him a Tanuki? And he's just like, I'm not a Tanuki, I'm a reindeer. Finally, when Queen did it, he was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Chopper just bitch slapped him. It was great. He reminds Queen with a heavy hand that he is in fact a reindeer. Chopper literally saved his friends and the beast pirates from this disease that Queen conjured up himself, and then he just straight up bitch slapped a Yonko commander. So all I gotta say to that is sheesh. What a badass. But moving on from Chopper, another Straw Hat that you don't necessarily think of as badass immediately is Nami. And so, because Nami's not the strongest, some of her badass moments usually come up on the ship when she's navigating. But I think my favorite Nami moment is also in Wano, and it's Nami versus Ulti, where she stands firm in her belief in Luffy. Ulti is whooping Usopp and Nami's ass, to be honest. This is pretty dangerous for them. And she held Nami up, and she kind of gave her the ultimate choice. She said, either admit that your captain's a failure, that he won't be the king of the pirates, and I'll let you live, or you can die a fool. And Usopp said, Nami, just lie to her. And she shouldn't have done this. Like, if I'm Luffy, like, I don't care what you say to the enemy, to be honest. Like, say what you need to, finesse the enemy, and then we'll win together. Like, Luffy knows he'll be king of the pirates. Nami knows he'll be king of the pirates. It doesn't matter what she says. But Nami stood by her word, and she stood by her captain. And there were tears in her eyes because she knew that these were probably going to be her last words. She knew she was about to die. But at least she chose to die with no regrets. And she said, Luffy will be the pirate king. Wow. Like, that took guts. I was impressed with her. So, up next, let's talk about Jimbei. Jimbei is a very humble character, and so that actually can make it hard for him to be badass. He's not trying to be cool. He's not doing all of these big, impressive things all the time. He kind of likes to blend in the background and just kind of do his job. And I see Jimbei as like the vet. You know, he's an old man. He's seen a thing or two, and he's kind of like a trusted advisor to Luffy. I love it when he stopped Luffy from fighting Blackbeard at Impel Down, because that's exactly the kind of advisor that a guy like Luffy would need. People like to say that like Silver's Rayleigh is to Gold Roger. He's like an advisor, he's smart, and then they say it's kind of funny that Zoro's not necessarily that to Luffy. They say that usually a first mate is supposed to be sort of reserved and planning things out, whereas Zoro's kind of like a classic anime protagonist. Well, if Luffy needs somebody to be reserved like that, Jimbei's kind of his guy, and Jimbei can act like that trusted advisor. However, I think the most badass moment for Jimbei actually isn't that Blackbeard Impel Down part. I think it's in Whole Cake Island, and actually a lot of these are going to be from Whole Cake Island. I'm starting to realize I really like Whole Cake Island. But his most badass moment, I think, is when he pulls up to Big Mom and he says, yo, what's up, you big fat bitch? I'm leaving your crew. And she said, oh, you don't dare. Like, you're going to leave a Yonko's crew? And he said, why would I be scared of a mere Yonko? I'm going to be joining the future Pirate King. A mere Yonko cannot scare me. So that was a really humble, badass way for Jimbei to have a cool moment. So that fits his character, and it was really cool. Now, up next, let's talk about Brook. And I'm going to just say right up front, I want more Brook fights. He's really cool. He's a badass Straw Hat. I believe he's the first to actually attack a Yonko directly. But man, we still need a lot more from Brook. And he stood his ground. He gave his speech about Sanji's kindness. That is the most badass moment to me. He risked his life for Sanji because he knew that Sanji is a kind man who always feels indebted to people, and he doesn't want Sanji to feel bad if they end up leaving and they put themselves in danger for no reason. So he said he has to get the poneglyph copy so Sanji can at least, feel at rest that this wasn't a useless, wasteful mission. And Big Mom said, oh, your worst case scenario is a little too late if you don't think anyone's gonna die. What if you all die? And he goes, young lady, what kind of fool plans for his own death? So that's dope. And then he slept with her too, so, he got some action. Brook is a Yonko hunter. He's out there taking Big Mom, oh my god. And also, to top everything off, I forgot, he was also the one that destroyed the picture of Mother Carmel. So Brook was just savage in this entire arc. I would love to see more from Brook. I'm excited to see what he does in Wano. But in Whole Cake Island, Brook went off, and we just need to see more of that. Speaking of people going off in Wano, Robin. Robin has been one of my favorite characters for a long time, and it's so sad to see her kind of pushed to the side. She's got like that fun sense of dark humor. She's pretty quiet, so whenever she shows any sort of emotion, it feels like a big deal because she's kind of closed off, you know? But when Robin came to save Sanji, he goes, "Help me, Robin, I need your help." She pulled up and I think she like literally spanked Black Maria off of Sanji, and then she said, "Thank you for trusting in me." So like that was some great emotion to show there. And then furthermore, she busted out some fishman karate, and then she pulled out whatever the hell that was, her demon form. To be honest, I screamed when I read that chapter for Robin. I think it was 10:21. She saved Sanji, and she just beat the hell out of Black Maria. And she doesn't have so many fights, so this Wano fight was huge for her power and just her confidence. I love to see it. I want to see more from Robin. It's just exciting to see some of these Straw Hats get their shine. I'm all about Luffy and Zoro and Sanji, but it's good to share the wealth too. Speaking of people that don't always get shine, how about our boy Usopp? So not gonna lie, whenever Usopp does honestly anything helpful, it kind of makes me like tear up. Like I love seeing that for him. What a good look for the brand. We love the boy. And that being said, like I also low-key hope that he dies as a sacrifice at the end of the story. Now, don't come at me saying I'm a Usopp hater. No, like the reason that I would want to see Usopp die by the end of the story is because I love Usopp as a character, and I know that what that would do to his character. It's you grow to love Usopp. Many people start the series and they don't really like him. They think he's annoying, and it would just solidify him to be like a top 3 character for everybody. Nobody's gonna watch Usopp sacrifice himself and become a brave warrior as the sea, and they're gonna think that he sucks. Like, you know, they're not gonna think he's annoying. They're going to build statues of him like they did with Dressrosa with the Tantata tribe. But anyway, that's for a later date. Today, I want to talk about Usopp taking aim and firing on the world government flag, and he burned it up. And this is just one of the most badass moments ever. This was the Straw Hats declaring war on the world, not just, you know, CP9. This is them taking on everybody for Robin. Enies Lobby is peak One Piece, peak fiction, and this was just a great moment. So I'm glad that Usopp had the honor of being the one, Sniper King had the honor of being the one to shoot down the flag, because that was really cool. Winding down here, I believe we only have 2 left. Let's go with Sanji. So Sanji's dope. To be honest, he's one of my favorite characters. I think I like him more than Zoro. Barely. I don't know. They're tight. I like them both a lot. But Sanji doesn't really have many badass moments, to be honest. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's the most clutch Straw Hats, and he's always doing big things. He always does his, you know, stealth missions, the solo White Knight type stuff, and he comes back to save the day. You know, there's Mr. Prince. He boarded the Puffing Tom to save Robin. He motivated Usopp to take down Spandam at Enies Lobby. With the Enies Lobby's gates, he saved Momonosuke. There are other examples too. These are all really clutch moments. He's the most clutch Straw Hat, but none of them are really like badass. You know, I guess like the moment with God and Nell, he goes, "Thanks, I needed a light." Like that was cool, but you know, it wasn't really super badass to me. But like I said, I was watching the anime and I was watching Whole Cake Island, and I think I noticed the most badass moment. I think the most badass moment is from Whole Cake Island, where they're in Beige's castle, and he makes his father Judge kneel down to the Straw Hats, and he said, like, "Why would you save me?" He said, "Because I knew that my real father, Zeph, would not be proud of me if he saw that I could laugh at my own family, my own blood's demise. What kind of man does that?" And he brought him down to his knees and he said, "But I need you to admit that you were never my father, and you need to never cross our paths again." And Judge, realizing that he's been ratioed, said, "I was never your father, have it your way. We're gonna protect you. You and the Straw Hats get out of here. I will never come near you or your East Blue people ever again." Germa 66 out. Germa 66 out. So that was dope. Sanji became a bigger man than Judge could ever be. And that was just a really badass moment for him. And I bet that's the most badass he has ever felt, to stand up to somebody like Judge. All right, finally, let's end it with our MC, Luffy. And this is the moment that I was telling you guys about right in the beginning, where I said, stick around, because I think that the Luffy badass moment is a little underrated. It's surprising. Like, I don't know what everyone's immediate go-to badass moment is for Luffy. Probably like Nami, when he says, like, "Of course I'll help you, Nami," and he just kicks Arlong's face in. But no, for me, the most badass moment is in Whole Cake Island. And I don't think this moment gets as much shine as it should either. But to me, there's no greater sign of being a hero, being a badass, or being a man, being the man, is when Luffy put his life on the line in order to protect his Nakama. Okay, well, he does that all the time, but the one I'm talking about is Whole Cake Island. This is coming off the chase scene that lasted forever with Big Mom after the plan went horribly wrong. And we thought that the crew would just need to escape. They have the copy of the road poneglyph, so let's just get out of here. We can't beat Big Mom. These Yonko crews are tough. But Katakuri, the Yonko commander, who could literally see into the future and he'd read your every move, was on the Sunny. What the hell are you supposed to do with that? They were hopeless. There's no way that the Straw Hats were making it out alive with this guy at their throats. But that's exactly where Luffy took action. Luffy pushed him into the mirror world and smashed the only mirror back to his crew behind him. He cut the ties with his crew, and he told them, "Don't worry about me." To be honest, Luffy might have anticipated his own death here. This wasn't your standard Luffy fights the bad guy moment. Luffy didn't know how he could beat this guy. He knew that he didn't stand a chance. Katakuri could see the future. Katakuri was everything Luffy could be, but more. Luffy knew that this was a life or death situation, and he immediately sacrificed himself to protect his crew without a second thought. Zero hesitation. And to me, that's the most badass thing you could have done. Just like with Zoro knocking out Sanji and jumping into the bubble of pain, Luffy displayed an act of badassery, and that is when he became my favorite character. So, spoiler, I'm a Luffy stan. He's my favorite. I love me some Ace too, though. But anyway, with that, that's the end of our video. I hope you liked this. I get it, theories are more fun, but this was just a video I've been thinking about doing, so I wanted to talk about some of these badass moments for each of the Straw Hats. So if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Remember, stay golden. Thanks for watching.